Moving into a new house can bring more than just a change of scenery. Sometimes it opens doors to fear and the inexplicable. Alex, at 21, recalls a terrifying experience he had at age 12 in a large, cheap house where his family lived near old indigenous villages. Bored with the gift of seeing the supernatural and being the grandson of a witch, he was already used to witnessing paranormal phenomena, but this time he wasn't alone. If you've ever experienced the fear of the invisible or the feeling of not being alone, subscribe and share your stories. Accounts like these connect us to what can't be seen but can be felt. The house was haunted from the beginning. A chilling silence invaded even on warm days. The smell of mold permeated the walls, and the heavy atmosphere seemed to absorb everything. Family arguments became constant, and objects moved on their own. Lights flickered and turned on without explanation, amplifying the growing tension within that home. One night, when their parents went out, the children decided to play hide and seek in the dark, in an attempt to make the game more challenging, perhaps not imagining what they were awakening. Alex's cousin was the first to search, while Alex's sisters hid together in the last room, the most charged environment in the house. The cousin got lost in the darkness and ended up finding a strange room. He saw a crumpled blanket in the shape of someone lying down and even felt a breath. Getting closer, he put his hand on the blanket, which gave way as if there was no body underneath. Terror took hold of him, and he screamed for help, causing the sisters to lock themselves in, terrified. Footsteps began to echo, getting closer and closer, while the lights flickered frantically. Alex, out of curiosity and courage, approached the door and saw a tall, dark shadow that seemed to be hitting its head on the ceiling. The figure was motionless in front of his parents' room. He told his cousin what he was seeing, and the cousin confirmed he had seen the same entity. Trapped by fear, they united in prayer, kneeling on the bed, chanting the Lord's Prayer with faith. As if by a miracle, the lights stopped flickering, and the shadow silently disappeared. The door, which had been locked, opened normally again, freeing them from the imminent terror. It was 8 months of horror for the family in that house. Doors that opened and closed on their own, stoves that turned on without human touch, running and noises that the neighbors heard but could never explain. One of the most disturbing episodes was the macabre infestation of cockroaches, which seemed to multiply day and night and terrify everyone inside the home. The experience in that house left deep marks. The fear and sense of invasion ceased when the family moved to an apartment, a place where they never again witnessed strange phenomena. What they lived through was a dark chapter, which reinforced respect and attention to the signs the invisible emits. Alex, now an adult, remembers the experience not just as a supernatural account, but as a lesson in unity, faith, and courage in the face of what cannot be explained. That macabre hide and seek taught everyone that there are situations where the strength of the spirit can be the only light in the darkness. If feeling afraid of what you don't understand has been part of your life, or if you have stories of an invisible presence and hauntings, share your experience in the comments. Subscribe to follow more real accounts that provoke reflection on what lies beyond our visible world, because seeing the invisible begins with listening to the silent voices that surround us.